Hey guys, it's Jen here. I'm just spending a quiet day at home. It's cold out, got the fire going, and I thought I'd pop in and talk to you for a couple minutes about creating a positive feeding relationship. So a few months ago, I went to a school and did some presentation to teachers and parents there. They were hosting an event called Parenting in the 21st Century. And they had a counselor there who talked a lot about connection and, how kids' behavior, if they're acting out, there's often something underneath that and they're just reaching out for connection. And there was a police officer there who was talking a lot about safety of social media. So, putting limits on your children's phone. I know I have that for my 12-year-old and none of his friends have it. Not allowing the cell phones in bedrooms to keep your kids safe. And I was there to talk to the group about nutrition for their kids. And knowing that there was a dietitian there, they were probably thinking I was going to talk about, the struggles with parenting in the 21st century and nutrition being overabundance of sugar or junk food or childhood obesity. But I decided to talk about creating a positive feeding relationship. And I have a couple slides that I shared with the parents that I figured I may as well just pop in and share with you guys if I can figure out how to share my screen here. There we go. Just a sec here. View, slideshow. There we go. So one of the challenges of raising kids to have a healthy relationship with food in their bodies in today's age is definitely media and the social media, which I think we know we get negative and unrealistic images of bodies everywhere. As well as our just increased busyness with activities. I'm noticing that more and more as my, kids get older and into all these activities like hockey, is we have decreased time for family meals and cooking at home. And then looking at parent role modeling, a lot of us as parents were also exposed to the social media. We may not have the healthiest body image or, be putting out good vibes or good words about our bodies and about food. Lots of parents are on and off diets, so that definitely translates to our kids. And then a lot of parents really struggle with either small child or a large child or picky eating. And all of that just kind of sets you up with those battles around food. So I spoke specifically about picky eaters. As you guys know, we talk a lot about that in this group too. And I know that parents of picky eaters are concerned that their kid's not getting enough food or calories. If you have a picky eater, you probably become a short order cook. And then we feel the need that we have to bribe our kids, pressure them, or reward them, or they won't eat anything. And on the other end of the spectrum, some parents have concerns that the child eats too much, and what they end up doing is often restricting them. So they may get rid of all the junk food and never go to McDonald's or try to limit their children's portion sizes. So I shared 4 tips with the parents for how we can help our child create, this healthy food relationship, whether you're dealing with picky eaters and a small eater, or on the other end of the spectrum with a large eater. And you guys are probably aware of the division of responsibility because I talk about it a lot. This was created by Ellen Satter. If you're able to follow it, your child will be far more likely to have a healthy relationship with food, have a healthy body weight, and just be able to eat to their appetite. So as parents, your role is what the child eats. So you don't become the short order cook, catering and having that, preschooler that only eats chicken fingers and fries, because it's not an option. You're responsible for when they eat, so the scheduled meals and snack times rather than constant snacking, which just kind of takes the edge off hunger, especially for the little ones, and doesn't allow them the chance to build up an appetite for the meals. And you're also responsible for the where, so at the table when you can. And the children are only responsible for if they eat or how much they eat. And this is regardless of if they're a picky eater and decide to eat 1 bite or nothing, or if they're a large eater and want 2 or 3 portions of the food you've offered them. Really, we have to allow them to listen to their appetite. And if we don't and try to pressure them or restrict them, then that ends up backfiring on us. And another thing I encourage parents to avoid doing is frequently consoling with food. I've done some lives on this too, right? I know it works if you have a child that's tantruming, But it's just teaching your child to seek food for comfort. So if you give them a cookie every time they're crying, yes, they temporarily feel better, but that's just training them for the rest of their life to go look for some sweets or desserts to help themselves feel better, when really we need to help them come up with kind of healthier coping skills. And tip 3 was to avoid dieting or negative body talk. So your child is going to have most likely a similar body style to you. So if they see, mommy talking about her big legs or something that she doesn't like about her body, well, your child's probably going to grow up to have that exact, similar legs. So we don't want them to think, oh, my mom's thighs were fat because I heard her say that all the time, so mine must be too, because that's what ends up happening. And they do notice too if you're eating different food than them, if you're on and off the diet, that yo-yo dieting. If you yo-yo diet, your child is far more likely to be on that negative roller coaster of dieting. And really that's worse for your health, that up and down weight, rather than, just staying at the same weight. And the 4th tip was to have regular family meals. And there's some amazing research around this and the benefits. So adolescents who have regular family meals, which is defined as 5 times a week, and it doesn't have to be dinner, it can be breakfast, lunch, it doesn't have to be all family members there. But some of the benefits include not only do they have a more nutritious diet, but they get better grades in school, they have healthier relationships, and they're less likely to be involved in drugs and alcohol. And this was quite striking to me, but family meals are more important to an older child's self-esteem and confidence than income levels, after-school activities, family structure, or religion. So if you can work that into your daily family life, and make it a habit, then your kids are definitely going to benefit. So that was a really quick run through of 4 tips and what I shared with parents on how they could raise a kid to have a healthy feeding relationship. I only had, I think, 5 or 10 minutes to review all that. And I've delved into most of that deeper with you guys, and also have blogs on, avoiding the sweets as rewards, a lot about picky eating. So if you have any questions about any of those tips or want more information, let me know and I can share those with you. And I do have that online meal planning program and an End Picky Eating group coaching program, which the next round is probably going to get going in October, so sometime in the fall. And you guys are in my Nourish Family Facebook group, but there are all the resources I shared with the parents. So, if I can come back to you. Yeah, thanks for listening. I know that was just a quick overview of a very large topic, but it's important. I think just a reminder to keep these things in mind, and help your kid raise a healthy relationship with food, which starts with you too. So have a good weekend, and we'll see you guys soon.